Okay, so the graph of assigned functions. So these are the things to remember when graphing assigned functions. So we have y equals a sine b theta. So to get the amplitude, it's the absolute value of a. For the period, it's 2 pi over b. And for the scale, that's period over 4. Then take note that the graph of a sine function always starts about the origin. So we have this given y equals 3 sine x. So on this given, a that's equal to 3 and b is 1. Then to solve for the amplitude, that's the absolute value of a or the absolute value of 3. So therefore the amplitude is 3. And for the period, that's 2 pi over b. Now b is equal to 1, so this one is 2 pi over 1, or the period now, that's 2 pi. So this 2 pi is just 1 period, or 5k points. And for the scale, that's period over 4, so 2 pi divided by 4, that's pi over 2. So this scale is the same as the interval for every k point. Then to graph this given using the amplitude, period, and scale, so we have this amplitude that's equal to 3. So 3 up for the maximum height and 3 down for the minimum height. Then, since the graph starts about the origin, so this is the first k point. Then the second k point, the third, the fourth, and the fifth k points. And that's 2 pi equivalent to 1 period. Then, since the interval is pi over 2, so therefore this k point is equal to pi over 2, then plus the interval becomes 2 pi over 2 plus the interval 3 pi over 2 plus the interval, it's 4 pi over 2 or 4 divided by 2, that's 2 pi. Then this 2 pi over 2 the same as pi. Now, since the given is positive 3 sine x, so therefore, the movement of the graph, so from the origin to the maximum, to the axis, to the minimum, and to the axis. Again, if the given is positive sine, so the movement is from the origin to the maximum height. So this is now the graph of y equals 3 sine x. Then for this given, y equals negative 2 sine x over 3. So graph this one with 2 periods. So from this given, a is negative 2 and b is 1 over 3. To solve for the amplitude is the absolute value of a or the absolute value of negative 2. So therefore the amplitude is 2. Then for the period, that's 2 pi over b. Now since b is 1 over 3, then to simplify this one, so take the reciprocal of 1 over 3, that's 3 over 1. So therefore the period, that's 6 pi, and 6 pi is just 1 period or 5 k points. Then to solve for the scale, that's period over 4 or 6 pi over 4. So this scale now is 3 pi over 2. So again, this scale is the interval for every k point. So to graph this equation using this amplitude, period, and scale, so take note that we need to graph with 2 periods. So for the amplitude is 2, so therefore 2 up for the maximum and 2 down for the minimum. And the graph starts about the origin, so this is the first k point. For the first period, so 5 k points, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the first period, and for the second period, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the second period. Then since the scale or the interval is 3 pi over 2, so therefore this point is 3 pi over 2, then plus the interval, that's 6 pi over 2 plus the interval, it's 9 pi over 2 plus the interval, it's 12 pi over 2 or 12 divided by 2, that's 6 pi. Then plus the interval, that's 15 pi over 2 plus the interval, that's 18 pi over 2 plus the interval, 21 pi over 2, then plus the interval, that's 24 pi over 2, and 24 divided by 2, that's 12 pi. Now, since the given is negative 2 sine x minus 3, so if the given is negative, so therefore the movement of the graph from the origin to the minimum, to the axis, to the maximum, then to the axis, to the minimum, to the axis, to the maximum, and to the axis. So this is now the graph of y equals negative 2 sine x over 3.